Hey everyone, welcome back to NBA Pickup, and today we're going to be looking at the Rockets-Warriors game and then the Clippers and Mavericks game as that's finishing up. So, Warriors win 108-94 against the heavily injured Rockets team, we could say. They were without Wall, Oladipo, McLemore, all three key rotational players for them. But they did get Christian Wood back for, I think they were on a 17-game losing streak ever since Wood went out, so good to see him back on the court. So we'll focus here on the Warriors first. No Wiseman, no Pascal, both out with protocol, so they're out for at least a week. 7 days, I think Sham said. So looking at this, overall, we played against a trash team, so we better win the game. Draymond was spectacular tonight. He had a triple-double, and he shot very efficient, 7 for 8. So that's good to see. Wiggins had a pretty good game. And then Oubre, he played all right. Still, I think past couple games he's been struggling with the three ball, so hopefully that starts falling down on a more consistent basis soon, because we're going to need him down the stretch later against the Grizzlies and the Sixers, especially now that Steph is out for, I think Steve Kerr said, at least a week with a tailbone contusion. So we need other guys to pick up, and that's something I want to talk about later. So I'll get into that later. Right now we'll focus on this. Shout out to Jordan Poole. Big game for him tonight. 6 3-pointers. That should be a career high in threes for him. I think something like that, 23 points. He played amazing. Nico, he played okay. Damian Lee got a lot of minutes tonight. His minutes have been cut down lately, so he played about 20 minutes tonight. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing really much from the Warriors here. They just played against Rockets team that just is basically a G League team, so this is a game we should win. And on for the Rockets, it's great to see Christian Wood back. He had a pretty good game, had 21 points in only 26 minutes, also 9 rebounds. Kevin Porter Jr. Just showing how great he is, and the Rockets traded for him for like a second-round pick. 25 points, 7 assists, 3 steals, and 4 rebounds. That's great stuff. He did have 5 turnovers, but he was hitting a lot of tough shots tonight, so shout out to him. A lot of people have been talking about Jayshawn Tate here. He shot 1 for 9. So I didn't really see what he did, but a lot of guys are talking about how good he is. So, I don't know. Kenyon Martin Jr., 30 minutes tonight off the bench. He played well. He's been a guy that was also tearing up the G League for the Vipers. I don't remember what their G League team is called, but something like that. So shout out to them. Rockets, I think they were down by like 20-something near around halftime, and they came back within at least like 11 in the third quarter. So this team's got a lot of heart, so that's great for them, considering I don't even know like half the players on this list. So shout out to them. We'll go on to the next game. I was looking at this Dallas Clippers game. Luka, he had a big game. I don't know how many points he ended up with. I think it was at least 40 when I started recording this video. He had 42. He played fantastic tonight. You look at the stat sheet: 42 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 steals, 2 blocks. He did everything tonight. It's Luka Doncic. He played amazing. He played a lot of minutes. He played 43 minutes. That's a lot. But yeah, shout out to him. He makes the game look so easy. Just watching him, he just does everything, and he makes everything look so easy. It's extremely impressive, like step back threes, just creating shots off the dribble. It's impressive. Looking at some other guys that played well tonight, I think Jalen Brunson, if I can right here. He only had 5 points and 5 turnovers. I don't know, when I was watching him, I thought he was doing better, but I guess I was not paying full attention or something. But yeah, I think Jalen Brunson is good. Didn't look like he had a good game today, though. Looking at some other guys, Willie Cauley-Stein actually got a lot of minutes near the end of the game. In that, I think starting in the fourth and at the end of the third, he was playing. So a lot of the like Porzingis and Kleba, they were playing minutes early in the first half of the game. So they might have to work on those rotations because if you're playing Luka 43 minutes in a regular season game, that's something you might want to cut down on to maybe around 36 at most because it is just a regular season game. They've not been living up to their expectations at the beginning of the year, and they've been falling in the standings. But 43 minutes for your superstar player will hurt you later in the playoffs, especially if you go on a long playoff run. If we're talking conference finals, so yeah, there's that. I don't know if the Mavericks were out with it. I don't think they had any injuries tonight, so Kristaps, I mean, he was okay. He had 13 rebounds, 11 points, but he's just not been very aggressive. I've been saying this. I said this in a couple videos before. He's just not been his old self when he was with New York. So hopefully he can get his stuff together. So then he'll be able to start shooting better than 36%. I'll tell you that. Looking at the Clippers, big game from Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. Paul George, he had 28 points on an efficient night. I mean, he was hitting some really tough threes. I mean, like a lot of them were contested. There was Tim Hardaway all over him. Kleber's contesting his shot, and he's still hitting it. So shout out to Paul George. He's been hitting some crazy 3-pointers this season. And Kawhi Leonard, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. I saw him. He was being a pretty main ball handler and facilitator for the Clippers tonight. Especially in that fourth quarter, I saw him. He had a lot of passes where he drove to the basket, he found Zubats on the block, or kicked it out to a guy on the 3-point line. So, I mean, that's great if Kawhi Leonard can become a facilitator for the Clippers, and I think that's something good that the Clippers should take advantage of. Zubats hit a couple dunks tonight, 7 for 9, 14 points, 7 rebounds. So big game for him. 4 offensive rebounds too. So some of those were big. I mean, guys off the bench were not performing well for the Clippers tonight, especially Lou Will, 2 for 10. You do want more production off the bench for the Clippers. I think did they even break 90? No, they didn't. They only had 89 points tonight. So that sucks. They're going to have to figure that out. I mean, a lot of guys were not shooting particularly well. So hopefully that's something they can fix for the next game. I don't know what their schedule is looking like, but they're like the third seed, so shout out to them. I didn't watch any of the other games, but I saw a lot of them were close, which sucks because I didn't watch any of them, but it is what it is. I think we should go. I was going to talk about the Warriors. So, for the next week, they're going to be without Steph, Wiseman, and Pascal, and I think this will be a big test for the other guys on the Warriors to really show if this team can make a push for the playoffs. Because it's honestly, this team is just Steph Curry. Like, their offense just is mainly Steph Curry. I mean, tonight says otherwise, but we know that the offense is run through Steph, and he's a primary ball handler, and he's the reason why other players can get their touches and they can get more open looks. They don't always capitalize on them, which is why it'll be interesting for the next week when they go up against the Grizzlies twice and the Sixers, I think. And then I think they play the Kings also. I don't know when they play the Kings, but that should be the game after the Sixers. But it should be interesting to see how the Warriors will play without some of these guys. So it looks like Looney's going to be playing a lot. I could presume that Mannion or Poole might be starting at the point guard. And JTA is going to get a lot more minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how the Warriors will be able to play without their main ball handler and the guy who brings so much gravity, which gives other guys open looks. Hopefully the Warriors can bring out at least like 2 Ws in the stretch, because that will just be a great sign for the Warriors that other guys can step up when Steph is hurt, not on the court, and etc. So I'm gonna pause my stream over there with Sports Center. Okay. Another thing I want to talk about, where there were 2 trades today. So Shams tweeted about one of them. The Thunder trade Trevor Ariza to the Heat for Myers Leonard and a second-round pick. I think the Thunder said that they were going to waive or trade Myers Leonard immediately, and it looks like they haven't gotten a trade yet, so they're probably just going to release him. So, yeah, don't say mean words on Twitch, guys. So, yeah, the Thunder's continuing to stack up on their draft picks. I think that second round pick is in 2026, so it's like a 6th grader or something funny like that. But, I mean, Trevor Ariza wasn't doing anything for them this season, so they got to get something at least, and that second round pick is something. I think Trevor Ariza is a great pickup for the Heat. He's a great 3-and-D guy, can play small ball forward for the Heat. I don't think they really have been struggling from 3, but I mean, Trevor Ariza is great to have locker room presence, so I think that's good for them. Another trade that went down was this trade here that Woj tweeted out. The Rockets trade PJ Tucker, Rodion's Kurucs, and the Bucks 2022 first-round pick to Milwaukee for DJ Augustine, DJ Wilson, and the 2023 unprotected first-round pick. And then there's the little this second-round pick thing, which I don't have the brain power to comprehend yet. So, yeah. Also, it looks like Milwaukee trades Torrey Craig to Phoenix for nothing. Or no player, so probably just cash considerations or something. But yeah, I think this is a great pickup for the Bucks. I mean, who is it? Who did they sign that was kind of somewhat disappointing? Maybe it was DJ Augustine and Torrey Craig that were like both disappointing. Okay, well, PJ Tucker, he's a great pickup for the Bucks. He can run like the 3 to 5. Great hustle guy, and in the playoffs, he just, like, playoff PJ Tucker is just amazing. I've seen it firsthand as a Warriors fan, so a great pickup for the Bucks. Should be good to help them get in a deep playoff run this season. For the Rockets, PJ Tucker was extremely upset, one, with him not getting a contract extension, and then he's just not happy with the team, and he forced a trade, which he got today. So, good for the Rockets that they get Augustine and Wilson. Considering that they are out with Wall, McLemore, and Oladipo, it's good to get another point guard. And then DJ Wilson can be something for them, hopefully. So, yeah, and then the picks. So, that's cool. Yeah, I think that's about it. Nothing else really happened in the NBA. I mean, it was pretty... A lot of stuff went on in the NBA, and there was a lot of close games. But yeah, please go check out my Warriors trade video. I mean, it's got like 30 views on it, so I would hope that I would get more, considering I had a video where I just titled it Jordan Poole's having a breakout year, and that has like 100 views, which makes no sense, but I'll take it. But I hope you guys can go check out that other Warriors video that I made, because I spent a lot of time on it and I want it to perform well, so I feel like my work doesn't go to waste, you know? Anyways, with that being said, leave a like, subscribe for more consistent NBA content on this channel like this, and leave a comment. It's good for the algorithm. Hope you all have a good night. Bye.